I knew it was going to be a tough down-to-the-wire type thing, and it turned out that way. Elliott Fry made all his field goals. We got a couple of turnovers. There wasn't a whole bunch of possessions, I don't think, in the game. And we had that long drive there in the fourth quarter with Brandon and Mike and the offensive line pretty much taking over. And we threw one pass in the drive and then carelessly got a penalty. But anyway, Elliott Fry making 4 field goals was crucial for us. Time of possession, we were up there almost as good as Texas A&M was last week at over 36 minutes and made 7 of 13 third downs and 1 4. Red zone offense wasn't very good as it should have been, but it worked out for us. So really proud of the entire team, all of them. We're not quite as talented as some of our teams in the past, that's obvious, but the kids hung in there and they played their hearts out. They played about as well as we could, had some careless, hit the quarterback late out of bounds, pretty stupid there, but overall our guys played well. Fans were super, they hung in there with us, I think. They're starting to realize what kind of team we are. We won't have to just scratch and get in a bunch of close games and try to find a way to win them somehow. So this was a good win for us, and hopefully we can build on it.
Okay. Microphone to you, David.
Steve, how pleased were you with the running game, just being able to establish it and getting Brandon and Mike a lot of carries?
Yeah, it was better. It got a lot better after the first 2 possessions. We were, what, 2 and out, 3 and out, 2 and an interception. But after that, I don't know if we punted after that.
Just the one time.
We had one other, yeah, just one. But anyway, we just had 1 punt all night. Yeah. Okay. So after that, we moved the ball without turnovers, which I didn't know if we could or not. We haven't done it very well up to that point, but it was encouraging to run the ball. By the way, it was a hot, humid night, and I was really proud of the conditioning of our guys too. It was when I'm standing over there and my visors sweated up completely, and I'm just standing there. I know those guys are losing a lot of weight out there tonight. It was a humid night, and so conditioning I think played a big role in our victory.
Steve, going back to what you said about going to have to be in some close ones and scrape, are you beginning to feel differently about this team than you did maybe going into the season, talent-wise, and what you're capable of?
Well, we did lose a bunch of guys on defense. I know it was we thought, well, these other guys can play just like Chaz Sutton and Victor and all those guys, and we haven't quite done it yet. We still don't have much of a pass rush unless we blitz a whole bunch of people. But we got to keep working on it. And, you know, got to keep trying to keep the quarterback in the pocket, don't let him run out, things of that nature. But again, our guys played pretty well. I think the coaches are actually pretty pleased the way the defense played, offense and special teams played pretty well.
Steve, do you expect to be the underdog against Georgia? And if so, can you use that as motivation a little bit?
No, we don't need any motivation to play Georgia, Florida, or whoever we play. We just got to try to play very close to, well, not perfect, but with very few turnovers. I guess we only had the 1 turnover that Shaq put 1 hand up and sort of ricocheted off. But Dylan had a good game. Dylan threw that little quick screen out there a whole bunch that helped our percentages. But he had, what, 266 yards? Converted several third downs there. So Dylan played well, and we had 3 or 4 balls that we got to make some tough catches. You know, you just don't always get wide open and catch it and run a few steps. Sometimes the ball hits your hands and you get hit. We need to start coming down with some of those. Jarrell had 1, Shaq had 1 there in that 1 drive, and of course Buster had 1 right in his hands. But so we had a few more potential catches that we didn't come down with, and but our guys had more fire tonight. I don't know if you can tell it, but I said, oh, you may have to phony act it, but I want some guys jumping around against East Carolina, and I think our bench was a lot more alive than it was last game. Also, we were a dead bunch last week, and it took some deep soul searching really for these guys to say, hey, let's go, let's pull this thing out. So this was a good win for us, really was. Really good win.